the king of Iran, Shah of Khorasan, estranged for the sake of Islam, a sacrifice to leave Medina. To protect the Shia, he travelled far, leaving all his family behind, no matter what status he found, to both mighty and low, always kind. To a new city he was alone and confined, a life of comfort for the Shia he did pave, from harm his people he did save, a prince who dressed as a slave, a wealthy sultan who always gave, a mighty titan who fed the poor, high in power, yet he always remained humble, great in status, yet he made Satan's plans tumble, supremacy in his grip, yet he ate plainly, sovereignty at his will, yet he acted humanely. If the stars were dots and the planets paper, if the stars were dots and the planets paper, I could never do justice to this man, by Allah. When Ali Reza came onto the court scene, such was his honour, the flag was changed from black to green, his wisdom, valour and kindness, for all to behold, his face stamped onto every piece of gold, the guarantor, a legend remembered till today. Even now before travelling, through him we pray, Imam Zamin, who helps keep harm from us away. Tender and mild to even a deer, it came to you in fear, and its plea you did hear, the hunter astonished at its coming back. Your aura means there was no need for insistence, your shining face bypasses any resistance. Such status is yours that an animal sees at your request, no problem in meeting death at your behest. Yet you saved it and its children, master of the unseen and things hidden. If the stars were dots and the planets paper, if the stars were dots and the planets paper, I could never do justice to this man, by Allah. Revealer of mysteries and the golden chain, to humiliate you the curtains closed would remain, but as you walked they split in twain. The wasila of Allah, and in difficulty a bringer of rain, you spent your nights bowed down in prayer, giving under the darkness of night like your father. You walk out to Eid namaz barefoot, seeing you people jump up and set a foot. Everyone follows behind you immediately, attracted and immersed in your glory. Is this Muhammad or Reza? In love for you the crowd shout takbir. They say the streets did tremble and shake. With the sound of your rallying the ground did quake. Some weeping when seeing your heavenly image, others in shock to be in your presence a privilege. You were forced to return, they feared a riot in the space. He inspires thousands without a word, just his face. If the stars were dots and the planets paper, if the stars were dots and the planets paper, I could never do justice to this man, by Allah. He ate with slaves and refused to see any colour. He saw not a face, but faith, any pious his brother. On the day of Arafah he gave all that he had to the poor. Mocked by some who claimed he had nothing more, he responded, God's pleasure means I have more than ever. Greed is unwise, to give for Allah is clever. He remained awake to praise his Creator at night. In a caliphate of sin he was surely a bright light, yet he was extinguished much too early, his flame put out much too quickly. They killed him with the fruit he found dear, placing poison in grapes. For losing power they did fear, he suffered like his fathers, for days in agony, left for a day and night before he was buried, and as he prophesied when he was laid to rest, from the ground appeared a spring of water, blessed, and as the water lowered, so did his body into the soil. He lived a life of devotion, humility and toil. May Allah send his blessings upon you and upon your ancestors and progeny.